All right. Okay, hey producers, music producers, and sound designers, welcome back to the stream. Tonight we're going to be diving into Reaktor and using sound design to make some music. So I'm going to start off with creating a sound that's going to be useful in our productions. So that sound, we're just going to create a beat from scratch in a few minutes in Reaktor. So, all right, guys, I'm going to build this up in Reaktor from scratch, and we're going to see what we get. Starting from nothing, just a note in patch, ending with a sound that we can drop straight into a track. This is a little challenge. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a 4-bar loop. Okay, let's jump right in. So I'm going to start off with my note in. Then I'm going to grab a clock. I'm going to grab an LFO. I'm going to grab another block, probably a quantizer. And we're going to need an oscillator. So I'm going to go into my collection and grab an oscillator, a filter, and a VCA. So, and finally, we're going to send it out to a mix control. So I'm going to grab a mix for module. And it's going to look something like mix 4. And we're going to do a pitch into the oscillator. Going to send it to the filter. We're going to go out through the VCA. And then into our left and right ports. Once that's done, going to connect it to our out, which is our speakers, our left and right speaker. That's what these two out ports represent. We can call them LR, or we can just, they're named right here as L and R, left and right ports of our speakers. So now we got our basic patches going. I'm going to make a sound with this so that we can start carving it out. So you might be wondering why it's not making any sound right now, because the VCA volume is not up. The amplitude, once you turn the amplitude up, we get sound, we get volume. But I want control over that. Right now I can hit pitches, but I have no control to turn it on and off. And that's what an envelope does. That's what an ADSR envelope does. It allows us to carve out the sound from no sound to sound. So we can control the on and off, essentially, of the amplitude. The way we do that is with a gate control. Think of a gate as a door. It controls on and off, or like a light switch, on and off signals. So I'm telling the amplitude to go on and off now that I've added in a VCA amp envelope. So we got that working. We've got our mix control. You can see right here we can add up to 4 different channels. Right now we're running one oscillator. So if I want to run another one, I definitely can. Yeah, I'm going to actually change up something. Or we'll see how it works first. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Yeah, no, that's not going to work the way I thought it would. So we're going to go out there, VCA, into there. We could go out to here. Just trying to figure something out. Okay, so let me just see If I can do a little repatching, rejigging. I want them both to go into. Yep, it's still working. Okay, so I've sent it out of there. I'm gonna add in a VCA that has 2 ports, a left and a right VCA, so we can get left and right signal, so we can get stereo signal out. So we've got that. I'm gonna connect that up back to our mod source. And let's just turn the modulation depth back up. And there we go. We've got our VCA. We've got our left and right. And now we can add as many oscillators as we want at will. So we wired it up with oscillator, filter, VCA, and a mix to our, oscillator, filter. We didn't do our VCA first. We did our mix first. And then we did our VCA next. So I'm going to start carving out our sound. I'm probably going to bring in another oscillator. So let's bring another oscillator in. Connect it to our pitch. Connect it to left and right ports. And just check that it's working. We're going to name the first one our first oscillator. The second one our second oscillator. And we're just going to check that the notes, the sound is coming through by checking our mix for input, audio input. So mute the first one. And we can hear that the second one is working. I'm going to just clean up my panel a little bit. Make sure that our modules are in the right place. So this is our first one, our second one. Then we got our mix, envelope, VCA. That looks okay. I haven't used a few of these modules yet, so we can ignore them for now until we do use them. But I'm going to change the pitch, or even more obvious, the waveform, and blend it back in with the first one. That just makes it a little thicker, a little more lush sounding. So we're going to go ahead and connect an 8-step sequencer to this so that we can play. So this can play by itself. So I'm going to get this to play a sequence of notes. Going to connect the gate to the gate and the reset to the reset. Our pitch is going to be controlled by our 8-step sequencer. It's now going to take the control from our note in. And then we're going to route the on-off signals to the 8-step signal as well. So everything's going to flow through that 8-step sequencer. And we should get something that looks like and sounds like a sequence. Gonna add a little bit of reverb to this final sound. So we go into our rounds collection. Gonna bring in some reverb. Just to make it a little bit more nicer and smoother. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save our sound and and save our patch. So we're going to call it step. Save our sound, and now we can record it into our DAW. So we're going to use Ableton to track our sound into a DAW. So actually I should be using the external clock, which is Ableton's clock. Let me just fix that. There we go. And then we're going to hit the metronome on, turn the volume down, and okay, we got 8 bars. Can trim that. We should have a nice little 8-bar section that we can use. I'm going to go ahead and mute my original clip, and this is going to be our loop. So let's see. Perfect loop. We can go ahead and build this out by adding a drum pattern to this, or whatever kind of instrument we want. So I'm gonna create. We said we were gonna create a beat today, so I'm gonna be creating a beat with this. So let's add some instruments. Gonna check the key. Okay, so we got a key of F major, and we can change that by changing our recording, what we recorded in. Start that over. We're going to do a capture record, bring that in. And if we have to extend our loop, we can do that. So okay, I want to extend this. And I want to make this a loop. gonna go ahead and detach these pieces. Don't really need them, but I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit. Then I'm gonna duplicate this and make it into a single section. Do Command J, consolidate everything at once. We can remove the metronome for now, because now we got something in time. And we're in key. Now we just add some percussion lines. So I'm going to bring in some percussion. I think it would go well with it. Okay, I'm going to remove that abrupt note because I know there's a okay, we're going to create some kind of slope here. I think just hold down some, yep. Going to hold down that option key. I want to go a little bit of slope. Be more subtle. There we go. So let's see what we got. So I want some shakers. A little bit of shake. Oh, 4/4. I want some shakers. Just add a beat. It's not the right one. So go to the master track. So I'm gonna keep going with this, building this out. So just gonna add a little drum rack. Yeah, hold on. Okay, and I'm back. So we're gonna experiment with some drums. We're going to extend the loop. Just working on the kick right now. Gonna get the metronome on. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of effects to these drums. Just gonna go into my audio effects rack, bring a good old regular drum bus. So that would be under your I believe it's the instrument track. Yeah, instruments. Not instruments. My bad. Under the MIDI. What's it called? MIDI effects track. So we're looking for a drum bus. Actually, my mistake again. It's actually under the. Stop seeing it. Yeah, under the audio effect tracks, audio effects. So you find your drum bus. Just gonna bring some drum bus on this, enhance it a little bit. Second layer just to get our snare right. Okay, that's another layer to it. And then we're going to bring this section that we've created and basically duplicate it. Create a new section. Okay, so we can start carving out a little progression. Now we got a loop. Add our other parts back in because I took them out, so seems like we didn't need them that much in the first part, so I'm gonna take them out for the first section and we will bring them out on the second section, the B section. Okay, so we got our finished loop that we can take and be ready to turn into a full song at a moment's notice, but I'm gonna make this into just double parts. And yeah, hopefully you learned something from the session. about sound design. I do sessions nightly, and be sure to ask me any questions. If you have any, leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer. Check our volume. Okay, so hopefully in there to the session, just as a recap, we took our Reaktor, we created a sound with Reaktor, our sound design tool of choice. We created a sound, and we used that in our production to create a full production. Be sure to, if you'd like to dive deeper with sound design, be sure to check out the full sound design course, link in the description, and also be sure to grab the free 8 sound taster pack. I will see you in the next live stream. Keep sound designing, and peace out.